That will be discussed later.
No, when you said it, I just want to know, is it a strong movement?
I'm talking about creating a strong movement. When I talk of a movement, I'm not talking about the NRM movement. I'm talking of any mass movement that is there, and it is committed to certain goals and the achievement of those goals. In most cases, what we have to do is to get a team and a committee that will discuss and really form a vision and find ways of creating that vision and run the movement itself, regardless of those who are visible and those who are not visible, and structure it in such a way that even if TV Russia is taken out of action, the movement will go on. Even if Uzaramba is out of action, the movement will go on. An example is when I was arrested with this book. They did not know who is going to. The State Department did not know by itself. The Norwegian, those Scandinavian, no. We had a hidden system in that nobody. Even if you bring Roland and put him in, you bring another and you put him in, you will be setting the whole forest on fire. So that's what we want. That's what we want. How do we create that? Nobody has a monopoly of what to do.
That reminds me of a situation where a demonstration was so secretive that on the day that it was meant to take place, nothing happened. It was so secretive.
I'm not talking about the secretive. By the way, at one time, you remember that the Constitutional Square thing? No, the National Theatre thing.
Yes.
When I was going to deliver a protest letter to Mbabazi to resign.
And there was somebody in the force.
And there are two things.
It's much easier to give him that one to swing in a court of law.
No, it was a protest that was aimed for public consumption. It was a political thing. To pull the man's underwear down and expose him to be naked.
That's what we've been doing for the last 50 years, right? Pulling people's underwear down. Since
I'm trying to. No, I was trying to answer you of the secretive part. There are things that need to be secretive, but not something that is not going to happen. That it is going to be secretive, that it will not happen. There are two things. That day, one of the ladies, Barbara Ramadi, brought some boys who were unreliable and whom I didn't trust. And we allowed him to ally with her. But at the moment we reached National Theatre, even before addressing the press, there was over 200 policemen, riot police, with their cameras and with this Zoom. You remember, Roland came there. Now, I organized another one, which I thought I was in control myself. When we organized Chile Changuba to go and ban himself at CPS, I can assure you, I planned everything successfully, and I told him that if they don't come for you at night, if they don't come for me at night, I will at Central Police. Yes,
the guy was convinced to ban himself.
No, I had 3 people. One told me I buy him petrol, but the way we had organized the other thing, we did not want somebody to die. But one of them, the guy really, I confined him in the house because for him he wanted to go and pour petrol himself. This Chile Changuba, he was going to.
But it was after putting 2 different situations that he made.
That was going to be
different.
Yeah, that was going to be.
That
was going to be a spark. We had talked about so many things. Now, this spark, I moved around. I moved around with 300 people and strategically positioning them. In case I'm arrested, something is going to happen. Or if Chile Changuba is confined, I was going to go to the CPS, and I went there. And everyone ran away from me. Kaiwura called me and he called that boy. I go there with him. But the thing is, we were not prepared well. And the route that we are going to take, it was going to turn out too chaotic, and it was going to run out of our hands. And when we reached there, the police behaved differently the way we thought it is going to behave. And I called off everything. So that's why I tell you, there is a certain level of control and a certain level of secrecy. And the timing on how you are going to do something, that will not make something that it is too secretive to the extent
What's the plan there?
that it is not going to,
So it seemed irritated.
that it is not okay.
It seemed irritated by my.
No,
Interestingly, I'm not. I've told you about it.
Sure.
I look at you like a small brother. So,
Yeah, I know that, you know.
so interestingly, I'm not irritated. I'm not happy you're still here. So.
My boy, he didn't come. I got him.
What's the plan? Or what's part of the plan? Because apart from these two guys, Tiburcio has seen quite some stuff. You have seen quite some stuff. I've seen quite some stuff. And my thinking is that you are no longer doing things to pay rent. You are doing things for bigger purpose. You are not doing things to buy food. You are not a hands-to-mouth guy. You want to do things for the masses, something big. The same applies to me. I don't have to be here to survive, or to eat, or to pay my rent. I don't have to do this. I can afford to wake up and watch movies the whole day, and I still take money. So, what's the plan? Because then we're at that level where we want to do something bigger than ourselves. Yeah. First, we don't want to be too reckless to deny the people our services by dying too early. But we also don't want to be too cautious so that we don't back away the thief. We don't back away the thief. There's a proverb in my tribe that says that the roaring lion does not get the hunter. But again, there's another proverb in Swahili that says that if the stick is too far, it won't kill the stick.
Come again?
So to what extent are we going not to roar so that we don't chase away the antelope? And to what length is our stick going to be so that at least we hit this one? But we determine, I honestly believe that Tiburcio is at a place where he is already successful. Alright. If Tiburcio, God forbid, were to die today, there's already a legacy. People will say, because he lived. Okay. People will
Life
say the
well.
same because of exactly. So we're at that level where, as the Greeks used to say, now we can offer ourselves for public service. Because we have sorted ourselves personally. We're not going to go to public service to sort ourselves personally, as most people do. Okay. There is no end to greed, of course. We think we want, when we get, we want more, and that's life. Okay. But unless we do something now, something substantial and institutional before we get there to power. If we were to get to power before we do it, we'll get to power, then we become like other gorillas. I'm strongly convinced that we do that thing now before we get the power. That when we get the power, we know each other's character. But if we wait until one of us gets the power to know the character, it will be a case of Thomas Sankara and his friend who is now the president. If Sankara had known the character of his friend, he would have made him in charge of what he was in charge of.
No, It's up to you and I, all of you guys, to a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. And in most cases, that step, and that has made all people, all movements, and all change agents, especially individuals and revolutionary movements, is their ability to articulate their vision of tomorrow for their society.
Very true.
Form it, articulate it, but in most cases you don't impose that vision on the people.
True. Then now we'll ask a very direct question. What do you say is your vision for Uganda?
I will simplify it in just one sentence. And this is what the only question you can ask me later. Why is also the person in charge saying the same but is not? What will make yours succeed? Which is a very long debate which we shall go on for hours.
We want to go to that debate.
Yeah. The thing is to modernize our economy. Modernize our economy.
So when that's done, it will lead to better lives for them.
It will lead to better lives to people. Then how that also I can tell you what modernity is, what we call modernity, which is not only the material wealth, but also other debatable issues and phenomena. But in most cases, the people's welfare comes with material issues. People having good living conditions, people having jobs, people, the infrastructure, all those we know how we can. As we are here, we know what creates a modern economy. By the way, a sustainable economy. And we can debate why. Later we can debate and we can know. My vision is that one. Really, that's my vision. And to achieve that.
So your vision has the economy as the important thing, not the people.
Why the economy? Why it's for the people? The economy for the people, the betterment of the lives of the people. Because for me to tell you, my son, in our family, I'm the father, but what I want to do is to build a nice house and to buy a hammer, and we are selling the other land so that we can build that house. So one of the questions that we ask, Daddy is selling land that we share, all of us. But are we really going to go in the other house, or we shall remain here and he brings another wife in the other one? You know?
Very grave issues.
So, is Dad he's selling the other land? And he's telling us that he's going to buy a hammer, he's going to bring water.
Are you saying your son does not have any doubt that you are not going to bring another woman? Or you're telling us that your son is worried that you might bring another woman?
Where I was coming to is not that question.
Of course.
But the issue is I must sell either the other land or work hard, or so that I establish a good home. I put money on the account for the education of my son, for the good health of my son, for the betterment of the life my children and I and my wife that are living here, so that we have a better life. So not selling the other land.
Obviously, where we are right now,
yeah,
we are the better place to live. Obviously, as we are right now. Correct. So we are then to know that you are comfortable, and hence you can be.
I am. What I know is
comfortable.
Leadership. I'm comfortable about leadership.
At the family level.
At the family level, I can say, for the sake of the nation, I can assure you, I love my family. But as I have been telling you, that I must give up all hope of life.
And how will your wife feel about that statement?
Yeah, she must know about it and really telling you the truth, that is it.
And then all the men who work with you need to also feel the same. And their girlfriends and wives need to accept that.
Those who, Jesus,
You are not Jesus.
I'm not, but I can tell you when you are dedicated to something. Jesus told, do what you can.
You already lost my girlfriend for the vote.
No, do what you can. Do what you can. Because here we must be very truthful about what we are doing. If you are to be part of it. Some of the things when you operate in a dictatorial environment, an authoritarian environment, know that they are very grave, risky and costly. You are getting into a risky and costly
this
venture.
process a very positive vibe. Be a little more positive. Tell us what other people don't tell us. Everyone tells us it is tough, we are going to suffer, we will be. What if you gave us a new fire?
I would be that one.
Mr. Zoranda,
Yeah.
can I now interject a little bit?
Yeah.
No, I was Andrew Mwenda, watch a match sometime. And you say, partly it was true, it is true. And you were saying that partly the way Africa is the way it is, or Uganda in particular is the way it is because of the mentality of our leaders. These are people who give up hope on life and they look at only getting power. When they get into power, they look at it as a personal gain. He was actually saying, your approach may not be a wrong one, it may not be bad per se. But he was saying that your approach leads to that. When you don't provide, when you give up all hope in life, you don't look at other avenues, your career is politics, or you're looking at it in that aspect that it's politics, chances are high, or that's why history has been repetitive, that when such people get into power, they normally look at it as a personal gain, monopolize it, and use it for personal gains.
I pick on from just where I is before you even go ahead.
No,
My point was like,
My point is, was I still making it right?
Yeah, my point is that first of all, I appreciate your argument. But there is this point of giving up hope. Because to my understanding of leadership is that a leader is a broker of hope, is a broker of faith, is a broker of love. So if you give away hope, then the direction may be wrong.
Because, don't even respond. That's a rhetorical question. Okay, we don't want to respond.
No, what I must respond towards that. When I'm talking in this forum, the first thing you say, I told you that we must have a vision, a picture of the society that we want in the future. However, in this forum, that will guide our struggle. That's what we shall be struggling for. That's what we shall present. But also we must be aware there is a system or someone who doesn't want to get there, and there are risks involved there. However, I will not go to society out there and tell them, please, I have tested, I've picked, I was picked. So when you want to be, that's why we study even in security culture, in what we are going to do. Even here, when we are here, I must be aware that what I'm talking is going to end up somewhere.
What was the point of saying it either way? If it didn't end up somewhere.
Now, here, if we are to do anything as a team, as a committee, because everything says, I've seen some young students, E.G. Sabi, they sat in a restaurant, and they started, they discussed like we discussed, and they, at a particular time, slowly by slowly, they created the movement, and it caused change. These other four guys. I resisted because I love Uganda, I love Serbia. That's how, and in short, I think it was Otto. Yeah. So, but there were dangers. And if you don't tell somebody that please, if you are thinking about getting into any venture against a regime like you are going to operate in, there are risks and dangers, costs to it. And if you already sacrifice for it, because if you don't have that in your mind, you will not even have, that's why you said, why, that if you met Museveni, if you met Fidel Castro, you would ask him, please, why did you put that fear? How did you overcome? So I told you, every person has a fear, but you must devise means of overcoming the effect.
Do you believe
of fear.
Ugandans can actually have a country without power blackouts, like the state of New York, for instance? Like the state of New York, without power blackouts. Like the state of New York, for instance. Ugandans, do you believe it can happen?
Yes, I believe.
You believe that Ugandans, we can have a wonderful education system and export our labor?
That one I believe 100%. And if you don't have that education system, that will create citizens who can compete globally.
And we also believe strongly that we can feed ourselves.
Of course.
Very well. We can do our own sugar, we stop importing sugar, we can be competitive.
Yeah, we can. They can be. We can have a trade-off if we feel that producing sugar, is not much profitable than producing something else.
Is it profitable? Is it?
To me, sugar, no.
To you or statistically?
Statistically, by the way.
Another group of
According to the land that we have, we can produce something better that can bring more income, that can earn us
I read a statement
more than sugar.
that said that sugar from South Africa is cheaper than our own sugar.
Sorry?
Sugar from South Africa is cheaper than Ugandan sugar.
Yes, and they are producing. We started the economies of scale. They are producing at the large scale. They have big land where they can.
And that's the whole point, right?
Yeah.
Economies of scale.
Yes.
So that means how it's expensive, right?
Our sugar here is expensive.
But that's against what you just said right now, that we can produce better, more effectively.
No, we can produce something better that can earn us better. I said we can produce something
It's
else
about returns.
that can be profitable than sugar.
So I wanted to interject.
And those are, by the way, if we agree on a think tank, as you brought it about, those are some of the subjects that we must debate. Because there are so many questions that we have. And we can even get experts, we can research about it, and then we discuss about
from
it.
where from?
Sorry?
Experts where from?
Economic schools.
I want to discuss something.
Experts where from?
Let's go.
Sorry?
Experts where from?
Experts experts, anyway, we can get some expert.
Where from?
From where?
Anywhere we search and say, who is an expert on sugar plantation?
Where from?
From anywhere, I can look for someone.
Anyways, nowhere.
No, if I wanted someone.
We have
You have to call Muingi.
think tank at the Faculty of Economics, Cairo University. That's a good place to start, right?
That's a very good thing. When I said anywhere, maybe you know who. Like
You must know now. You're
Like when I talked to Roland, he said, you know what, why we
Right now,
can.
it seems to me that if you're sitting 70 right now, it will flow you on logical.
Yeah, gentlemen, I wanted to Jericho's point, just to get back.
Right.
Now, I wanted now to look at Lee Kuan Yew. Lee
Singapore.
Kuan Yew was, then this, I want to get it back to you. I'm not saying, you see, your approach is entirely wrong. I normally get justification, or I normally get encouragement from you.
We're still waiting for the point.
It is fine,
First make the point, then argue. Don't belabor yourself. Don't beat yourself. You'll make the
No,
point.
it is fine.
You become weak.
And it's
Say the point.
exactly
Say the
what I'm going to talk about.
Shoot one.
It's exactly what I'm going to talk about. Henry David Thoreau said, any man more right than his neighbor constitutes the majority of one. So, your approach may be You may perceive, it may be the right one, but it is still one. I may also have my own approach. So
It's not working for me, and you want to convince me already you've lost, right?
that is okay. That is okay. I'm talking to. We are now 5 people. You get, and that's why I'm saying I re-emphasize it that any man more right than his neighbor constitutes the majority of man. Now to get back to what I was saying, I wanted to quote that and say, your approach, my approach may not be the correct one, but the flaws I see in your approach and in relation to Lee Kuan Yew, he was a lawyer, Harvard trained lawyer. One time, Bidani spoke and said,
I'm saying in Europe, in British schools.
British school?
No, they Princeton or that.
University.
Yes, Britain.
You are right to correct me, but to my information, he was Harvard graduate. Bidani one time spoke and said, Oinaka recorded the. I think it's important as a person who.
What's that?
Oinaka recorded the. Have you done something for yourself?
What have you done for yourself?
What have you done for yourself? In other words. He spoke and said, now, it is important for people who want to institute change.
Who was Bidani, sorry?
He was a minister.
contestant for president.
I know, but the question should give you the answer. That is irrelevant.
Is an expert in what?
No, that is fine. That is fine. He could be irrelevant, but
eh?
he has some points that can teach us, and that is true. He said, so it's funny he said that Oinake Wekonedo, have you done something for yourself? As a leader, it's important that you show the public that I'm actually, because in most cases, if you come out based on politics purely, people will think you just wanted to use it for your personal gains.
So what did Fidel Castro do for himself?
I don't believe in that. My father can have land.
Fidel
I can
Castro?
have land by the way.
Yeah.
But
I
Fidel Castro
He likes
had what?
Fidel Castro very much.
I am coming.
Yeah.
I am coming. And it gets back to the point of public perception. Public perception. Fidel Castro was a trained lawyer, a competent lawyer. Fidel Castro, I'm not saying you need to come from, but Fidel Castro came from a rich family. So it wasn't doubted that he was looking for economic gains. You get, anyone who can study his life, you can see the systematic conversion of him to communism. He's not looking for satisfying personal.
And he was against his father's estates.
He was against
When you
his
come
father's estates.
when you come to the haves and the have-nots, the communist sharing.
I'm just saying that you as a person who wants to lead change or create change, it's very important to create that confidence in the people. But you see, I've done something for myself. I'm not looking at satisfying my personal gains. I said evolutionary is my pockets, and this evolutionary is my pockets. You get, and you know, such a trait, or such a track record creates that confidence. People know that maybe you don't need to work with one bank, you don't need to work, but people know that you've done it. People respect Gerald Kahanga, apparently. Gerald Kahanga is from the West. Gerald Kahanga's our father is rich, or he comes from a rich family, that. But you can see, what he speaks is the truth. I'm not saying that he's entirely right, but at least you can see that he has that confidence. People can give him that confidence and benefit of doubt. You get, so I believe as a person that's trying to change, you will very change. It's important to make a perception about the public.
I agree.
But I think I've never spoken here. And my older brother. It just me when I was a younger brother, and I respect him a lot. I respect
checking you,
and everything. Yeah, I respect Gigi a lot. So I almost spoken. I think he was.
That's a very personal note here, for it would be nice to look at it also, because there's perception. Perception. And when you raise the issue of your son and the home, and then it doesn't eat me then. That's perception. The truth is, we need someone. We are tired of FDC. They are always poking the eyes of the president without respect. We don't do that even if the president is bad. We don't talk to him like that. It's wrong. Even if your son talks to you like that, he's your son, but I think Matiku deny him what is rightly his because of the way he's addressing it. When you see the way opposition leader Mafabi talks to the president, you think the president is his son, he shows no respect. And people are poor, but they understand certain things, and they know that you don't respect yourself to talk to other people like that. So really we need a change. We need to breathe some fresh air, but we need a plan. And we need a forum to have this discussion. and you need someone to finance these things. You need financing for it. And because even the most revolutionary of revolutionaries still had financing from one source or another. So if it's going to be a plan, it has to be a long-term plan. Yeah, and then many people will have to fall in at their own place. Some of us will be only coming at the beginning level, and that will be our own contribution. When the vehicle starts moving, we become irrelevant. Some of us will be conductors. Our work is only by the door. But you will always be there. You and your team for that matter. Maybe you're also just standing there for someone else.
When you say, actually, that's where I wanted to, because the focus has been on me. When these boys, the late Zenawi and his friends, when they got out of the university and went to struggle for the liberation of their country, at one time when they were still in the bush, Zenawi would be the chairman of the movement, then another time, then another, when they got to power, it was, they decided on who, at that particular, but all of them, the 5 of them, or 4, they were like we are sitting here. When they went, they said, now we never held the chair alone from the beginning. So it is not about me. And that's where really, sincerely speaking, that's what I wouldn't like it to be that way. And in most cases, that's why I'm very concerned by creating a committee that will, like we are sitting here and you are bringing an idea, a think tank, going out and disseminating the information, gathering other information that is very vital, carrying on. This is what we want. That's what we want. Not the focus on Tibirusi, not the focus on Nzaramba. It is the idea, the vision, the objectives. What do we want to achieve? Because we fall in a trap that when we put it on Tibirusi, when we put it on Uji, the thing will be that the mind of a person will be that I'm doing this for Roland, I'm doing and we forget the whole essence on which we are offering our lives to. It is the picture that we want our society to look like.
Okay.
Whether with me or not. And it is a brutal fact if you want to know how, because a person who knows how the regime operates.
So let's talk like business people.
Yeah.
So who are the other competitors?
In the struggle.
I think, okay, one of the things that you must look about, what you must look for is potential allies and potential opponents. That one you look at it all of you.
In politics, Abraham, he is a potential ally.
And at the moment,
so who are the other competitors?
At the moment it's us here, and that's one of the discussions that you look at when
there are people in FDC, right?
Yeah, they can be allies, they can be, yes.
There are people in NRM. Who wants to be president after Museveni? This is an 8-year, 10-year plan.
I've seen names.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So who from NRM wants to be the next president?
The Western China.
No, okay. No, let's take it. Let us make assumptions. Yeah, let us give the system a benefit of doubt.
Because I know you are here. I know there could be another group of youth from northern Uganda.
Yeah.
Also right now sitting in some strategizing, maybe hoping to be bought off by the president. There could be another team in London, also thinking of planning for post-Museveni.
At university.
And by the way, as we are here, the discussion is, we don't want to make a conclusion like we made, I and you. You know?
There has to be a leader at any given time.
That's
Because you must have someone we hide under when they're shooting at us.
Yeah. Do you have my photos? Those ones when I were...
I do have a
Yes. And I saw it, what you are talking about is true. There is a time when my elections were robbed and taken away. Guys organized. I came and went mass. There were around 500 people following me.
Jaramba.
But at first when I diverted,
Just a minute.
all people diverted. When I came head on, everyone was ready to be shot
Jaramba,
with me.
you need to stop
Yeah,
talking about your past stories now.
yeah,
You need to start talking about your future stories.
yeah.
Very important. In fact, it is so important I can't press enough how important it is.
Yeah, I understand.
You are going to alienate us. You are going to make us feel like you've done nothing.
Yeah.
Because you've done so much.
Yeah.
Correct. You need to let us know what you did.
Yeah.
Let us whisper behind your back. Let us hear from stories behind the podium when you are finished speaking of the things you've done. Focus us on one thing, because you're taking us back, take us back to your stories. And then back to your stories. Let's focus on where you want us to go as a people. So that because that one story, he can share it. Why he wants
I
it.
think it's a mistake for me to cut between the not to talk to you, just sorry to cut the discussion, but at this point, you know, it's out.
No, the issue before you leave is all of us here at a particular time we can meet again.
No, we
And
we must.
Yeah, we must, and then see a way forward, because we have not come up with a way forward. Yeah, we have not.
Okay.